Hello and welcome back to 365 Days with mxmtoon. I'm Maia, a singer, songwriter, video maker, Oakland native, and royal family fanatic. I'm also a huge history nerd. I love untold stories, gross facts, hidden secrets, anything weird, dark, and funky from the past. Each day I'm going to share some of my favorite deep cuts with you, so let's take a look at today's stories.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365 mxmtoon.
Today, in 1952, King George VI of the United Kingdom died, and Elizabeth II became the Queen. King George had been sick for a long time, and he died in his sleep. He had become king in 1936 when his older brother, Edward VIII, chose to abdicate the throne to marry an American divorcee, Wallis Simpson. This was a huge deal. People were not happy. Before he met Wallis, Edward was nearing 40 and unmarried. He did, however, love to socialize and entertain, and it's through his social life that he met Wallis. Wallis Warfield Simpson was a divorcee and a socialite, and an American to boot. Though Edward at first attempted to keep his place in the royal family with Wallis by his side, basically everyone in Britain vehemently refused, and he eventually chose to abdicate so he could stay with Wallis. Thus, George unexpectedly rose to power. King George had gained fame, more than the fame he already had from being a king, of course, during World War II, when he would go on tours of war zones to rally the spirits of the British people at an all-time low of national morale. He overcame a speech impediment he was born with so he could make radio broadcasts to connect more with the people of his nation and bring hope to the people he couldn't go see in person. He refused to stay safe in his country home, and instead stayed at Buckingham Palace, which had already been damaged by bombers. The king's health had grown troubled in 1949, but he kept up with his duties right up until his death. Elizabeth was in Kenya when her father died. As a child, Elizabeth was called Lilibet, though her full name was Elizabeth Alexandra Mary. She was prepared for future royalhood from a young age. She married her distant cousin Philip Mountbatten in 1947, and she had her first child, Prince Charles, the following year. Today, she is one of the wealthiest women in the world, with a net worth of $530 million, due in part to land inheritance and investments as well as the money the family is paid by English taxpayers. Elizabeth is known for her love of corgis and horses. I mean, same. Who doesn't love corgis and horses? Elizabeth was crowned queen about a year and a half after her father died, on June 2, 1953. Elizabeth quickly became a queen of the people, letting herself be a public figure in ways that were, at the time, unprecedented. She allowed the coronation on June 2, 1953, to be televised. The Prime Minister had objected, thinking it would cheapen the ceremony. Of course, today, we can't imagine a public event like that not being televised. In this way, and many others, Elizabeth was ahead of her time. Her openness and strong support for the British people made her a popular queen, not just in England, but worldwide. Elizabeth had her own fair share of moments as queen that put her under public scrutiny, though, not just public adoration. When Prince Charles and Princess Diana got divorced, her reaction was regarded as cold and mean, and the same happened when Princess Diana died. The Queen's austere reaction was reviewed as insensitive, in contrast to Diana's warmth. Her status as queen has also come into question as the role of the British monarchy has diminished in modern times. British taxpayers complain about paying for the royal family's expenses and the upkeep of the royal palace when most of what the royals do is ceremonial. On the other hand, the royals still serve as world ambassadors for Britain and draw tourists there every single year, which increases the nation's wealth and provides jobs in tourism. The royal family is an enduring fascination, and Queen Elizabeth has done more than her part to keep up the intrigue of the royal family. The public obsession with the royal family has increased in the past few years with the release of the television series The Crown. Its seasons center on various eras of Queen Elizabeth's life. The first season takes place in the late 1940s and early 1950s, and the second season covers the 50s and 60s and so on and so forth. The series plans to cover the Queen's reign into the 21st century in its final seasons. I do personally watch The Crown. I really enjoy it. I think it's a great show. I don't know exactly what my English friends think of it, but I do watch The Crown, and I enjoy it. So take all of this how you will. At the end of the day, I'm just an American. We have a very special guest on the pod today. Take it away.
Hi everyone, this is Kito, and today is February 6th, and it is the day that I released my new single Recap with Van Jess and Channel Trez. And this song is very special to me because I wrote it with Van Jess at Rick Rubin's studio Shangri-La in Malibu in the tour bus, the iconic tour bus that belonged to Bob Dylan. And it's probably my favorite session to date. It was so relaxing. The sun was coming in through the windows. I even had a nap while Van Jess were recording their vocals. And then I finished the production last year during lockdown, and Channel sent me his verse. And it was just such a great song to work on during a stressful part of the year. Because I had such a good memory of writing the song. So I hope if you do listen to it, you can imagine me in the tour bus, lying in the sun, having a nap while Van Jess are recording their vocals.
And now for our final segment of the day, I'll be going into my own photo archives to see what I was up to on a February 6th in my life. So I don't think that I did anything at all on a February 6th in my life. I'm looking here and I don't actually have many photos from any day in my life. So let me see if I can grab anything at all. Man, this is like the first day in the podcast where I've struggled to find something that feels like I could even tell a story about it. I mean, like, all I have in my photo library for February 6th is like screenshots of my Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. And I was level 48, which is kind of an absurd amount for a phone game. But I think that's all I did. And that's fine. Sometimes you just have days where you don't do anything exciting. So sorry I don't have anything more scintillating to share with you today. But yeah, I guess I just didn't do anything on February 6th at any point in my life. Pretty impressive I've made it this far into the podcast with having something to share every single time. Not mad about February 6th being the first date that I've struggled to find something to talk about. That is all for today's episode. Let's travel back in time again tomorrow. Remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and you can follow along at 365 Days mxmtoon on all platforms.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365